It's the first day of 4th grade. New book bag, white sneakers, fresh braids. And the teacher says,
"Okay, children, we've got a lot to cover, beginning with attendance." Matthew? Here. Jessica? Yeah.
oh no, that's me. God, are they staring yet? When is this gonna be over?
Wondwossen? Am I saying that right?
Well, actually, Miss Phillips.
Great. So listen, just to make it easier on both of us, I'll call you WW, just like Wonder Woman, okay?
But then, in an unusual act of defiance, I stood up and said, I'm here. And when fear tries to define me, my name, it reminds me I'm here. No, it isn't all the same. There's only one I'll ever claim, and I won't answer to that name. No, I won't answer to WW, Wonder Woman, Woman King, Wakanda forever. I only answer to what my mother and I tasted in the Kalashman you named me. I only answer to my name. Well, at least that's what I said in my head. What I actually said was, okay. My teacher called me Wonder Woman off and on for an entire year. The following summer, I decided I was going to change my name to Sarah. Not the Ethiopian version, Sarah, but Sarah, as in Sarah Jessica Parker. To fit into my new adoptive country, I would need a simple American name. Strangely enough, my mom didn't discourage this. She even bought me a pin with the letter S on it. Granted, there were more practical matters to attend to than my identity crisis, like our survival. We had arrived to the States from my native Ethiopia just 5 years prior. My mom had sacrificed the comforts of our life in Addis Ababa so that I could have an education and become a lawyer. I became a singer-songwriter. But that's another TED Talk. Looking back, though, on that school year now, I wonder, how difficult is it really to pronounce a name we don't recognize? We do it all the time with people notable in our pop culture. I try to imagine what might have happened had some of them been in Miss Phillips' class.
Joel Quinn, are you here, Joel Quinn? Thank you. Adelaide. Okay, that sounds easy. Sadie, are you here? Thank you, Sadie. Oh, this one is a doozy. Ben-Yoka, are you here? I don't have all day, Ben-Yoka.
Now, by now, most of us have learned to pronounce the names of Joaquin Phoenix, Adele, Sade, and Beyonce, even though they may have been unfamiliar to us and are not spelled phonetically. So why is that? Perhaps it's because we've heard these names over and over, or perhaps it's the value we place on them as artists or celebrities. So if not all a matter of difficulty, the correct pronunciation of a name is also a matter of one's power, influence in society. And while some are worthy of the inconvenience, others are not. Now, whether they are recognizable or not, all our names have significance. They often tell a story about us, our families, or where we're from. Having had the fortune of naming 2 daughters of my own, I like to think of names as the summation of our mother's hopes and dreams for us in a word. Some names quite literally come out of a dream, like one soon-to-be mother who was planning to name her daughter Alexandra till the unborn child came to her in a dream and said, "That's not my name, Mommy, my name is Julia." She woke up, turned on the radio, and the first song to play was Julia by the Beatles. Some mothers prefer not to leave it to the stars, like one Hindu woman who, rather than allow the astrological charts to determine the first initial of her child's name, as is the custom in her family, chose to name her Ananya instead, meaning unlike any other. Sometimes a name story is based on nothing more than a mother's admiration. When asked why she named her son Travantes, one mother simply showed his picture and said, "Well, how could I give a common name to a child this pretty?" When we embrace each other's names, we embrace our stories, our passions, our values, our triumphs. But when we reject them out of carelessness, convenience, or bias, we reject the very essence of who we are and any hope for real connection. Now, I know what you're thinking. Girl, is it really that deep? Yes, it is. And here's why. It's likely happening to more of us than you think. In a straw poll conducted by the group Race Equality Matters of more than 100 organizations, 73% of respondents said that they had had their names mispronounced. 73%. And because this slight often starts in a classroom, the lasting impact on a child can be profound. One 2012 study concluded that hearing this daily and subtle insult can alter the way a child perceives themselves and the world around them. Part of the reason why this impacts us so much is that we are literally hardwired to love the sound of our names. One study published in Brain Research revealed a unique brain activation that happens in response to the specific sound of one's own name. You've probably noticed that salespeople often repeat your name when trying to persuade you. That's because when we hear our names, we're more inclined to pay attention and to build trust. Author Dale Carnegie of the book How to Win Friends and Influence People put it this way: a person is more interested in the sound of his or her own name than all the other names on earth put together. Remember that name and call it clearly, and you have paid a subtle and very effective compliment. But forget it or misspell it, and you have placed yourself at a sharp disadvantage. In the coming years, our global workforce is projected to grow more and more diverse, with people of color comprising a new majority. That means it will be more likely than ever for the colleague in the cubicle next to you, the aftercare teacher at your child's school, or even your new boss will have a name you don't recognize. Getting it right matters, not only for their sense of belonging, but for all our belonging in this beautifully vibrant, shrinking global community. So, now that I've established why it's important to pronounce names correctly, I could give you a few strategies to shorten that learning curve, like repeat it out loud, spell it out phonetically, or find familiar word associations. It's like Wayne, but with an A. But there's one strategy we could all start today, and it starts with our favorite word in the world, our own name. My ask today is that you learn the story of your name. Were you named after a beloved relative? After where or when you were born? Was it a deeply held belief? A whim? Whatever it is, learn the story of your name and share it, even here in the comments. Because perhaps if you do, you'll be more inclined to honor the stories and names of others, no matter how unfamiliar they may be. I once longed for a name people recognized, not the one I had, not the one that made them pause, squint, squirm. But today, when I look in the mirror, I don't see a Sarah. I see my mother's daughter, and she named me Wayna. In Amharic, it means the grapes of God, as in the wine of God, or the blood of Christ. My mom says that after one takes communion in Ethiopia, it's common for them to cover their mouths out of reverence. That's how special it is, she would say, how special I am to her. My name and my identity rests firmly in this story. Now, what about you? They may squint and scrutinize, me in their eyes, but I know from where I came. But as long as I'm alive, I'll hold my head up high, and I'll live up to my name, for I'm here. When fear tries to define me, my name, it reminds me I'm here. No, it isn't all the same. There's only one I'll ever claim, and I won't answer to that name. No, I won't answer to that name. Thank you.